Why is it not working today? Come on, do it again. Well, this is a game me and my family played together for a while. It's in early access, but me and my dad and brothers played this one. And I built all this stuff out here. This was my own area of the whole massive map that we're on. And I built that entire platform that goes for quite a long distance. But the master platform where the base is all there. And it's just a giant, basically a road, like a highway bridge. And then my brother and family, they were working on the other sections, which I helped build the tower for over there as well. This conveyor system here has stacks of plastic and stuff coming in from my other base that I built far out where the oil is. That's where we're heading at the moment. So my old man and I played this game for a while together. Really enjoyed this. It's not heavy in combat, but there is combat in the game, and there's driving around in vehicles that you construct as well. This is my facility that was doing all the plastic production, and I was feeding all the petrol back to the main bases. So my base was a distribution base for all the fuel coming in. And as you can see, I use the system for canisters and stuff, which would get filled up. See, they're empty here. They get loaded into these machines, and then they would get completely filled up and then shipped back into the main system of belts. They get stored in this container here full, ready to go. This is a super fast belt. And as you can see here, we've got using glitches to get away with it, but we've got splitters and all that. Containers are coming in, being recycled, refilled, and then they're sent back through the system. That's the entire purpose of this entire complex is to bring plastic and stuff back out, and containers. It's a plastic and oil facility. And what it does is it transports fuel all the way back to my mega base in the middle that I'm still expanding. I'm going to go back in here, but just giving you a preview. This is a facility over here that makes all the stuff required. Turns crude oil into heavy residue. You get rubber and heavy residue. It's quite a big setup. These are the real powerful, power-hungry, I should say, factories. They're blenders that actually produce fuel. 250 fuel per minute. And they fill up a big storage container. There's also a backup power generator here, just in case. That's not maxed out either, because we don't want to use any of the fuel too much here. We want to produce it and distribute it back to the system. So this entire facility is all about oil and petrol and plastic. You have to produce the plastic or rubber to burn it, otherwise the system just won't utilize it. And it also has a dumping thing, so it gets rid of anything unused and recycles the containers. So if anything goes ape shit production, the the system can continue to recycle the plastic containers. Now I'll explain this whole system very shortly as I get back to the main base, what's going on back there. This game runs a little glitchy, and it's not even to do with the stream. It's just because it's early access, there's still a lot of things being developed, and as you can imagine, there is a lot of things going on in this game. Like, every item is produced, all these little individual items are produced in this, and ran on these belts. Every single one of those is a block. I've custom done the design of that to make it look like an alien sort of carrier or something that had crashed and then been turned into something else. That's what I wanted to make it look like. I also built the air tunnel network, which goes to my brother's base back up the other way. Back here we've got processing of base materials and a stock of current stuff that I need over here to build with. We've got the ingots, we've got a battery facility over here which produces enough batteries to feed all the trucks that we need to drive around on the map. So oftentimes we're not even using the petrol, but it is being produced. It runs the power generators which are sitting up the top. These are coal power generators, one of the most basic power plants you can build, which I've overclocked and maxed out. And up here we've got fuel generators. This is a stockpile of fuel storage that is done on this base platform. That's all petrol, which runs fuel generators. So these are additional power plants that are overclocked and optimized. A couple of more coal generators are here and overclocked and built up here. And this is a drone. Yeah, I'm here. I just went quiet. He's closing his stream, is he? Yeah, because he's doing an all-nighter by the look of it. We got this drone facility that flies back and forth delivering petrol and batteries to the other bases on this massive map. Yeah, I'm still streaming. I had to relaunch. Been great fun. Showing Cammy's son probably what's going on here. He's into these sort of games where you craft everything and get a factory that massively manufactures pretty much everything the place needs. So rather than playing them games where you build buildings that do absolutely nothing, I think you've seen us playing this game before. Oh yeah, with me, I was chasing Dad around, killing him in the game. Yeah, that one. The only game I can win at PvP on. Me against Dad, but he was laughing. He's getting a good laugh out of it. Hey, no worries, mate. It's good chatting to you. Yeah, take care, mate. You have a good one. No, mate. So this train's on the way back to the main base that we started the entire game with. And this is a bridge that we've constructed, or I've constructed. This was my main project, and this is not cheated either. We worked for every frigging material on this map. So everything that was crafted and built is from taking our sweet time, putting it all together. This design up here, this entire design, that's mine. That's my work here. This is the highway bridge that goes back to the main base, or is aimed to go that way. It gives you vibes of like Mass Effect or Halo style gameplay, except you're actually the Pathfinder doing the job of building something here. Engineering is. Me and me brothers really enjoyed this, particularly Data Flame, which I'll be going to show off some of the stuff that we built. This is the highway I was working on before I stopped playing for a while. Now, as you can see, the tube system above, that's another form of transport in this game. Hypertubes. I've built that to make it look unique with the hovering shapes that are doing what they're doing. And you'll see why when we start visiting the other places that everyone else has been building on this map. I figured I'd give you a tour guide around just in case you wanted to see something other than World of Warcraft that I stream all the time. So for my Facebook viewers, I'm sorry I went off before, but I had computer problems and had to sort them out and restart the system as well. And Steam would not open no matter what I did. We've got drones coming back to my base to do delivery, collection and delivery runs. That's the truck I've left there to mark my project zone for where I'm at. A lot of the bridge is actually completed. Some of the sections are still being formed. But the main primary focus of this bridge ends about here. It drops away down to the landmass down below. I had to find a safe place, realistic place to bring it down. And then the train line starts doing its own thing over this way and transitions to this style. Then we've got my brother's base down here. He built all that down there and started up his own bases around here as well, more of it. And notice how they split off different ways, because that's where the air tunnel goes. The air tunnel goes to his base and the train goes back to the main base, the original base. And down there is a massive nuclear power plant facility down there. Underneath all of that as well, there's even more of it. That's what Danger Flame built. He's right into getting the end game stuff built, and I do all the base stuff in the game and give you transport around the massive map. So we're going to stop the train because we're right near the end of this rail. Checking out some more of the map here. We've got my spare truck full of batteries ready to go. So this is the original base that me and Daedra Flame built together. That's the game automatically saving. When it saves after a long duration, it freezes the game and then unfreezes it. That's how it saves the states in this game. Sometimes I set the save time for a lot longer, but if the game was to crash, then you'd lose about half an hour of work. And when you're building a lot of stuff like this, half an hour is a lot. This is a superstructure that my brother built. I built the outside walls and the road system that goes through this tower, but he filled in everything with all the factories that go deep down inside of it. It's actually quite an amazing structure with the work that he's put into it. So if we take you around this way, I'll probably make a mistake and end up having to go back the other way again. But that's the underside of it where all the base materials come in. This is the original base. Now if you take a look, that's the train station over here. That's a different one. That goes to the other base that my brother built. Younger one. So we got this themed superstructure, and then right there my brother come up with this one, Star Mall. He went and made this great effort to do the art with all the piping, to do the words for that. And then if you look down here through the glass, it goes down about 5 floors or something, and it's all factories, all processing and material production. And the reason it's called the mall is because you could come in here and pick up all the supplies you needed. You just go into these storage containers and come and pick them all up. Anytime you were short on materials. So Daedra Flame built this entire superstructure with all these container stuff. And you could just come in and pick them up and go out and craft more stuff or build more facilities elsewhere. But the goal was to bring all the materials back to the main base so you could expand this thing and turn it into what it is now. Quite genius of what he's done and the amount of effort he puts into this game. Back when we were playing this together anyway. We've got automated tracks here, we've got this whole system here. I've tried to customise it to make it look presentable. And then, I'm just looking for my entrance. Yes, so I introduced early on as I could when we first started the game. As soon as we got the research to unlock hypertubes, I was working on designing the hypertube tunnel network so that you'd always be able to get around the map rather than having to drive vehicles and put yourself at risk because some of these mobs and enemies respawn. Very similar to Factorio. Some of the mobs respawn. We get spiders and stuff that come out and actually are hard to kill. Very hard to kill. So this is like a little subway network. And you go down here and you take a hypertube, that goes out to the power plants. Stuff like that. The original power station network goes that way in Dad's base. And this would take you all the way back around to the other side of this base, or the other one would take you to another power station that I built. So let's take a jump in here and have a look. This is one of the longest ones. So this is the original superstructure we built. And this tunnel takes you right out. Wait till we get through all this. I hid it all under here for a reason. I didn't want people to care about it that much because it's all over here. This is all the belt system that goes for miles. Miles and miles. It's clean, it's simple, and you don't have to stress out the system having multiple trains going this way. We're waiting until the game gets another major update where even more performance optimizations come in. So this is like a hub station. You'd walk out here if you want to do changes to the peak power station. The platforms were already pre-built for this to expand the power and water production out here. We have coal coming in. I've got the coal mine that brings the coal straight through. We've also got additional coal mining production going on. If you look up here, you can see this actually used to be the main power station, but we've cut back a lot of it because we've got nuclear power and fuel generators elsewhere that take over from these now. These are old and they've been replaced. And I ran along building these little hub stations because as you come around, you got all these storage containers here, so if someone wanted me to deliver something from the other end of the whole map, I'd just come in on my character and ride on all these tunnels, dump everything into this box and move on, and then they go and pick it up themselves. So here, let's move on. That's the power station. It's the original coal superpower generator we had with massive heap of power station things there. That for a while was great. But as you start growing and requiring more and more power to keep the things going, it starts going to shit. And you realise pretty soon just how much you need. Welcome to the show, and thanks very much for watching. No worries, Zelda. Sorry I missed your message, mate. I've been sort of setting up the computer again after reinstalling Steam, probably for the 20th time, but at least the game's running now, so that's the most important thing, mate. Out here is my dad's base that's been renovated basically by my brother. He come in and optimised the whole place, tuned this entire area to be another oil production facility. This was done before I built the other one. And I came through and built all these little stations. Like I said, everywhere you go, you'll run into one of these transit network hubs. I built these so you can treat them like subways, only they're for you or your 3 players that are on the game. So every time you travel around, you don't have to ride the train, you just jump in, sit back and relax. So this base over here is one that Michael worked on really hard, or Daedra Flame. This is another coal plant, and it produces a lot of things here. Especially, I think that's bauxite. Yep, bauxite. And we got coal. Got a special industrial fluid here that's used for alumina solution, so it was making things like ingots and stuff. I believe he was also working on doing battery production up this end, and a lot of other materials to make nuclear power. So this was very much relied on, as you can see here, aluminum stuff. He was making supercomputers and stuff like that, all from materials over here, crystalline stuff, quartz I mean, silica. And like I said, that's my old man's original base that he built over here and has been improved upon by my brother. He came along and made a lot of improvements. So we pulled it apart, rebuilt the structure and adapted it, and he's been visiting this base and working on it since, the old man. So let's take another look at something else. Trying to work out where we are. I'll take this one. I believe this is the one. Yep, it is. So this is the one that will take you down here so you could do some work, maintenance. So these tubes made the game really easy to get around. Okay, so since this is done, my old man came back and redid all the tubing for that and changed it so that we take this one instead now. So this goes out to my other hub location because he rebuilt this continued conveyor belt system that we've got. See, my job's to come back and put pillars under them and actually make them look like they're raised. I've been away from the game for a while, been back on WoW. So my job is to make them look like they're grounded properly and actually freestanding, not floating. But initially, to get the resources and stuff, you've got to build them like this. And as you can see, that's why my job is to come back and put all the pillars underneath them and have them grab onto things underneath the water and make it look like they're actually fully supported. So this is going out to another base that we established on this massive map. And thanks to anyone who's just joined and is having a look. I'm on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube right now, showcasing this game. It's been a pain in the ass to get it running, to get it all working properly, but it is up and running, and that's good enough. Put it this way, I couldn't even get Steam to open today. I had to reinstall Steam just to get it to run. Because I had 2 copies of Steam installed, and I think that's what was causing all the problems. So once I got rid of it, that fixed everything up. So now it's separated from the main platform to connect to my other base, which has another hub. These hubs take a lot of resources to build, but like I said, everything in the game has a use. So if we've got an outpost built somewhere out here, obviously it's planned for a build for material production or farming or mining or whatever that's happening. As you can see, we've got this cute little hub here. Some of them have a different appearance to others. This is a centrally located one for this area. And as you can, if you look over here, there's, I think this is a big stone mine. It's upgraded, I think that one is. Yeah, Mark III stone mine. Yeah, limestone. Yep, makes the concrete. So when we were out here doing manufacturing or trying to get concrete, we always had a freaking shortage and had to keep going back to the main base. So this became a new concrete production facility, and that handled everything. And I think someone's come in and done an even bigger design with this, because it looks really good what this has happened and turned into. And then you've got more coal being sent in, and as I said, this is going to the oil production facility over there. And this is only update 4 of the game. We're waiting to see what new materials come into the game to get even more stuff to build. So there's another tunnel that's in here, and that tunnel takes us to the nuclear mine, the radiation and all that stuff, I believe. Oh no, it could be the quartz mine. Sorry, I might be wrong on this one, but I believe there was a thing there for getting that sort of stuff if you needed it. We moved all that facility somewhere else. But I think this goes to the quartz mine. Now, I used to have an automated truck running materials back and forth from the quartz mine that this thing goes all the way to. It's actually a really good game, this one. Like, this is no joke, this is over 400 hours of content that we've managed to get out of this game. Playing for weeks together as a family. Me and my 2 brothers and dad popped on as well. It was good. Now this is to be revamped as well. I want it to look like it's grounded. I wanted to have little structures holding it up so that it's supported. But when you initially build the stuff, you can defy gravity a little bit, which cuts you some slack and allows you to build things a lot quicker. And like I said, you've got to keep going back and forth, getting materials to build all this, because you always run out. This is not creative mode, this is full-blown, go out there, and this is inside the big mine. This thing had heaps and heaps of spiders in here. Some of them respawn too. Some of them respawn at night time in this game, which is even scarier. So this is the little hub that we built for the mine itself. Flashlight. Sorry. So we got all this facility down here, and this thing was absolutely full of spider bosses and stuff in here. We haven't had them respawn yet, but I have heard tales that they do, and particularly bad if you have no structures supporting it. So this is all big coal mine. So we cleaned this thing out, and it had a lot of enemies in it. Like I said, this is a sand ore mine. I haven't put anything there because you can't utilise it yet. Or if you can, I haven't seen anything that can use it. And no joke, these things are like those ones actually in the thing. If you've watched the thing, they're pretty scary, bloody looking things. I'm just glad I'm up here and not down there, because if they did respawn, I'd be dead. That's just how fast they are. I think that's the last. Yeah, that is, as a toxic zone. I don't think I've got the mask on at the moment for that. I don't, because otherwise it'd tell me I did. There's toxic zones, which means you can't go in there without like a hazard suit. mask. Or a mask, I mean. But you can tell the amount of hours that's gone into this. We were going to build something different down here, actually. It was going to be, like a lot of people build their main hubs inside of these big caves. We put ours outside. I'm just keeping my eye out on my hover jet thing. This thing's been a godsend to have in the game. You earn this late game. You don't get it early. Much later in the game. Let's just take this teleporter back. Transport hub back. I was going to have that continue and go through the other side of the cave and out. It's a save I'm glad we kept because there's so much work that's been done on this. I hope you've enjoyed the footage of this. I'm going over to check my Twitch channel just to see if it's alright, looking decent, considering it's streaming in 3 places at once with the same encoder settings. Yeah, it seems fine. Alrighty, let's have a look at this playlist and find something else. Yes, if you ever wanted to look at these sort of games, always feel free to message me because I've had a bit of experience at playing some of them on my search for more games like this. This one's a lot of fun, and it may not be rendering perfect FPS, but it's one of the smoother games that you can actually play all day without getting a headache and enjoy. So if you're very sensitive to some of these types of games, like Space Engineers, I don't mind it, but I get the motion sickness when I'm playing that one. It actually gives me bad headaches. When I play this one, I can actually play it all day without any issues at all. I thought I'd show you guys some of this building survival type game. Initially you build to survive, but after that it becomes more focusing on improving your production. Once you can look after yourself, it's pretty easy, and then you're just focusing on mass production of everything you can possibly make to unlock the hardest tiers in the game of what you can build. Well, these hub networks help me get to show you what we've done over 2 months or so of playing the game together or more. Oh, there's hours and hours of content when Daedra was taking a break from WoW. It clocked up massive amounts of time just playing this. All those colours on the wall are done with lights. You just aim a light at the wall and it changes. You can choose what colour you want it to be. I was trying to make some of them look like subways and nightclubs and whatever sort of thing, where you go in there and it'd have this cool reflection setup that would bounce off all the walls with different lights. thanks for watching, mate. I really appreciate you coming along to have a look at the stream, because it was mainly targeting towards you, Zelda, to show you other games out there outside of WoW. Like, this is another really fun game if you like creating stuff. Like, I'll show you a from scratch map. It runs perfect. When there's absolutely nothing on the game and you don't have a mega factory on the game, it runs like butter. Smooth as. You obviously do need a pretty high-end system to run this game, but there's people out there that are running this game on basically a supercomputer, and they still have frame rate problems, because once you've got so much stuff loaded into the game, like manufacturing going crazy, and you start putting trains on there, we don't even have the trains automated because we don't want to affect it. We just drive them ourselves. So when we actually want to use them, we'll drive them. These drones we have flying around, we love them. While you're roaming around the world, you're watching these drones that you've built and have automatically doing the job of delivering materials from one base to another. I've got one here that does it here as well, but it's just not being utilised yet. But my brother's base, yep, he's got a nice little setup on top of a big castle. Not a castle, but it's up on the top of a mountain. That's what I wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the truck, big one here. Surprised at that you've seen that I remembered where it was, but you know, this is the sort of games I like to play outside of World of Warcraft. We built this superstructure here. I came through and started doing improvements to the base. So we've got this superstructure here with a heap of solid pillars. And if you... I'll get out of the truck. If you look up, it's got a space elevator. That's why all that's there, to look like there's something solid holding it up. And if you look at... Oh no, this is where it'd be impossible. Okay, there's nowhere in the world where there'd be glass that strong. But everywhere else is solid. And you got this. Another big workshop in here. This is a sample of just some of what we're building. This here handles... let's have a look. Industrial fluid, it does nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas. Heavy modular frames. This is Daedra's masterwork. He goes inside of your buildings, cuts them all out into walls and sections. There's a ramp down here. This is a good example. I build all these things. Mine's the road infrastructure, so you can get around the map. This is his work. This is his work. Okay? This is what I mean about meticulous. And he goes down, and there's ones below this level and below that level, and it just keeps going down. And this is what I mean. You go down. This is his amazing work. And you go down here. Because that's obviously where the floor is, and this one, the lowest it gets. But you go looking through here. He's got a facility in there. Then he's got all the ground stuff. I built the ramps, like I said, that go back up. Allow you to get around the friggin' map. Otherwise, good luck finding your way around it. There's belts everywhere. And you don't... Right from the start, it's not like this at the start. You've got to build up to this. There's, like I said, this is over 400 hours of gameplay. That's the automated train. That's the only one that's automated. Can I make it? Can I make it? Yes, I made it. Only to get tossed off again. Bastard. But it goes to my brother's other base. Oh, his main base. It's little brother's base. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down there and take the air tunnel instead that goes to his base. Stuff it. Bugger the train. I'm going to go down there and take the elevator down. So let's go down there and ride the other train. I built some of the tunnel network over here too. I made a bypass tunnel that goes around, so you can go in there at the little subway spot that I made, and then jumped into the next one. It takes you around to this base, and there's another one that goes all the way out to my first base that I started in the game. And it's just a little base that has a couple of self-supported power base. So if this place ran out of power, that base continuously powered itself. It's a coal power base. It just runs itself. It does not need any external support. Ooh, shit driver there. Good thing I don't drive my car like that. And as you can tell, there's a lot of work that goes into this. But it's actually one of the easier games to play. Very enjoyable. Now, when you're not straining, it probably run a hell of a lot better, but when you're connected to a multiplayer game, the auto-saving doesn't happen. As bad for the people connected to your game. But what does go bad is when you're driving the train as a multiplayer, the rear carriages stutter behind you. Yeah, the way. Dickhead. So I hope this video's showcased you a game that you might find fun one day, mate. I'm going to take this one back. This train goes back to my base. As I said, down there some more oil and petrol bases and all sorts of stuff going on down there. But under there is about 7 floors deep, and we were planning to put a massive amount of nuclear power plants inside of that, underneath the ground, inside of the void. That's what we call it, the void. Out of sight, out of mind. It was going to be hidden away. Now the reason for that is because you can't go anywhere near it without wearing a hazmat outfit, radiation suit. That's one of my other brother's bases. And if you look left, his structures are up there on the top of the hills over there. He's got some really good ideas in there. Yeah, my train slows down when it's climbing up all that. Not for very long. I've got to say, he's got a mega structure on top of those rocks, which we're going to ride over to on the airpipes. I'm just returning the train first. So you get to have another trip on the same bridge. My longest project was this one. It took me a solid week or two of going back and forth getting concrete to build all this. Initially I went over there to do a solo project completely by myself. Yeah, and I was bringing my own concrete. I produced all my own concrete over it in the desert to bring the materials in. I crafted the bloody thing. And it was like an actual roadwork zone. I kept marking off sections with my trucks, parked them along the bridge. One section at a time, there'd be a truck parked to mark it so I didn't accidentally drive off the freaking cliff when I was coming back. And many times I fell off the cliff trying to build this. I'd walk off the sides. Because this is all normally would be floating, and then you're standing on the edge trying to place blocks down, and it's deadly. Like, you move so fast, and then sometimes you misplace one block and you just walk straight off the cliff. And then you got to go back and get all your gear again, all your loot, but you just died and lost. If you like these sort of games, this is definitely one I'd be picking up when it releases if you're into crafting and building stuff. This was intentionally made to be a unique style highway access bridge from the desert through to the tropics back to the main base. So when you're bored, you could just pick a vehicle and drive it all the way around because the batteries last longer than petrol in those, which we were quite surprised. And I've added the glass just for the cosmetics. I wanted it to look different. As you're coming closer to the main base, you got these lights lighting up the place, introducing you. You still don't know you're actually coming up to a base yet, because that's how long this main bridge is. And then it starts widening and taking shape. It's one of my favourite designs in the game. And then the train breaks away, goes down, underneath. Still got some blocks to remove to cut, to make it look a bit more realistic here. And lots and lots of triangles for the shapes to make it the strongest it could be. I do plan to expand the facilities on this platform, because it's all meant to be built on this thing. And that's what I've started doing, is moving all my coal power plants up to there, up on top of it. Alright, let's set this train stop. Fortunately, it doesn't take long to stop this train. Look at that. I just missed me stop. Yay, job done. But as you can see, this is one game I love spending my time on. And there comes the drone again. Like I said, this thing works hard. This factory produces batteries to supply the drone and bring batteries to the other drones that are on the map. I think the map is a lot larger than I'm showing. The trip thing makes it a lot easier. So if I wasn't on the train, this would take forever to get around. Train or air pipe. Alright, I'm going to show you the air pipe that takes you all the way there to my brother's base. So this is the one that runs out there. I'm just following it to find out, remember where it went. Goes down. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I see. Yep. Not far away. Okay. And we got twin pointers there. Let's jump in one of these and see if I make the right guess. Yep, I did. Here we go. This is the air tunnel version. This one was built before the train one was done. And I really liked the shape and the way the lighting comes through the structure here. It's one of the main things about this design that I liked. It's the way the light casts through the object. It's a very odd structure. And it's shaped that it turns into a triangle underneath it as well. So it's supported entirely by triangles and pillars. I'm still in the process of adding all the support pillars to the other ends. But this one spreads away to be completely alien as it goes towards my brother's base. So again, I'm happy to show you guys this because this is what we've been playing together in Doja Flame. There we go. That's where it's splitting away now. I'm sorry, it's on the main bridge still, but you can see the shape that I was working on here. And yeah, that's a power grid connection that networks all the way throughout the whole base and the other bases along with it. Connecting them all together to keep all the power going, even if the nuclear power ran out. And that was my job. I was trying to build fuel bases that would keep them going even if the nuclear power ran out. It got so big, my base setup, that it ended up taking over from the nuclear power because they haven't been running in weeks since I've been back and checking the game out. Now if you like content like these sorts of games, be sure to let me know, because I'll be jumping on showcasing some of these other games that are in my collection. Hell, I might even hook up the steering wheel and do a road trip on the game, American Truck Simulator, just for fun. I like a Euro Truck Simulator the most, but I also like the style of the American trucks. We in Australia, we have a combination of both. We use both the European trucks and the American trucks here. We just have the steering on the opposite side. We get the best of both worlds. Now, as you can see, this platform's now breaking away from the main bridge. And that's what I was showing you when I was on the train. When I was on the train, I was showing you that perspective where that has to drive all the way back. And it became a platform eventually as well, with splitting off sections. Well, this thing completely splits from this track and hovers. As you can see, it starts hovering. And it's like a completely alien structure that defies gravity. That's intentional. And as you can see, the rail goes that way, and this goes to my other brother's base. And here it goes. And if you look over this way, you can already see some of it. This is so I could come visit him when I was wanting to have a look at what he's been doing on the game. He's done a lot of work on this game. Now, I don't think I actually have his save on this machine, so there's probably been a few changes that I haven't seen. He has sent them to me, but I haven't loaded them on there yet. And this is his base. So he built everything up here. And we got trains. He built this thing to deal with my batteries that kept coming in, and massive amounts of fuel. He had no use for it, so he had to start burning the fuel. Because otherwise the drones would just sit there on top of his base doing nothing. And as you can see, he needed a use. So he built this mega structure down the side. Well, not really a mega structure, but it's well thought out. All into the side of the mountain, and he likes to make it look grounded. He's meticulous like that. He likes to make them look like they're supported properly and everything. As you can see, he's carved it and shaped it as it comes off the side of the mountain. He put a lot of work into that. Since you can't deform the mountains and stuff, he uses it as structural support. And as you can see, he's really worked on this design over here on the bridge to do just that. And that's his main storage facility over there. It's pretty sick what he's done. He put a lot of hours into this as well. At night time, this lights up really nicely. And this is a three-floor storage facility that brings in everything he needs. And he liked my Hypertube network so much that he built his own one based off of it, because he liked how you take one elevator up and one elevator down. I'm really glad he liked. See, this is what he did. There you go, that one to go somewhere else. This one goes up to the next floor. All storage facilities. And if you can't be bothered walking, just drive. Just jump in that and drive. Next floor. All storage. Like I said, can't be bothered walking, just drive that thing. It's a hell of a lot of fun. They keep adding more and more stuff to this game every time we get a major update. And that's the pipe that takes you back. Not to my base, there's a different one for that. Oh, he's really worked on this one. try and utilise the space he has. And yes, if you're thinking Stargate, we were too. See, I wanted to have this. This was a trick. But it was... You come over here and you've seen that, you think, oh, okay, that's the transport. And then you look at the shape, it tells people it goes to my base. Because it's my alien design that I've routed all the way over to that one. People have gone that mad on this game that they've actually recreated Atlantis. Stargate Atlantis. So anyway, that's the tour of the main bases. And you can see just how high up we are. Way, way up there. Now I'm going to go and tell this program in process lasso. Factory game, CPU affinity, always. Select CPU affinity. That way it's not messing with any of the cores that are doing the streaming application. How you doing? I'm glad to see you, man. I've had a lot of computer problems and had to sort out my Steam. It would not open any of my games and wouldn't even open itself. Okay, so I had to reinstall Steam and I had to reinstall Satisfactory, and I just figured I'd throw it up there to show people the other games that I play. It's nice to see you're on, Dad. I'm pretty buggered. I was just explaining to the whole crew that were watching my channel and Cammy's son just how much work you, me and Daedra put in, and also Brandon, the work that he did. He did some amazing work on the game and I wanted to show everyone on the stream the work that he did. I also took the time earlier to show the big mega factories that Daedra Flame had done. I don't know if he's still on here. You still on here, Daedra? Yes, he is. According to my thing, it's telling me he's watching. Well, this isn't just streaming on here. If you want to watch it on Facebook, watch it on Facebook. I've posted it on my Facebook page as well. I'm streaming it everywhere, so you can't miss me. If you tried, Facebook would tell you. Hey, Kurtason's live. Kurtason's live everywhere. Twitch, Facebook and YouTube. Just so you can enjoy one of the games that I enjoyed playing with my brothers and father. Yeah, I just never got back to finishing the Super Bridge. I was just showing him the Brandon's base, and then I showed your base, where the oil base was that you built. I showed Daedra's work on the original megastructure, the nuclear facility. I went past it in the train and I explained all that was going on. I don't know if the awesome Daedra Flame's still watching me. I think he turned it off. I think he's too tired. But anyway, as soon as this thing stops, I've got to turn the stream off and hit the sack. Well, there was never any cheating in this. We did all this together. I built all these battery banks and everything, just so you guys could craft to your heart's content. I took over a hell of a lot of the power station work because I knew that we could handle the fuel requirements to bring up the power. If Daedra ever wanted to take a break and revisit this game, he's more than welcome to one day. My desert project is this one, and I still haven't fully explored this section yet. There's still more to do. We've got geothermal power plants all over the map, everything. They're all free power. They don't need any fuel or nothing. They generate their own power. And that runs into the grid, charging batteries to provide extra power when they're needed. Yeah, if I can ever actually fix my damn bike. Something I considered. Like I might one day do a dash cam driving around the bay, but I've seen so many people already filming that stuff. Yeah, the tyres are flat. The tubes are flat. And I've got to replace them. That's another 100 something bucks for 2 new tyres. Bikes aren't stuffed. They just need 2 new tyres. The racing bike is my pride and joy. And to be honest with you, the push bike was what burnt most of my weight. I used to love riding that thing. Doesn't matter how much going to the gym I do, the requirement of having to ride a push bike all the way to the gym every single day, even in rain, oftentimes, was far more energizing than driving there. I don't know that. Burning weight riding there, I didn't have to do any cardio in the gym because I'd be going 6Ks each way to the gym. This is just one of the games I have in my library. I have a massive library of games. Unified game storage. Let's have a look. Game storage. Yep, Steam library. That's all I've got to do is I just got to tell it where the Steam library is. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go settings, downloads, Steam library folders, and then I'm going to go to what's called unified storage. Select. Now it's just found the other 38 games in my library of several hundred. Yep, it's found them all. Like I'll be able to jump on and show you different games that I've got. Hang out with you. Even got an update for Borderlands. Definitely would have an update. Factorio. I don't mind it. I liked playing that one with my brother. He was great with the factory, and I was good at building the train stuff. Yes, he has. Red Dead Redemption. There's the game. Registers it's installed. That's good. Show what's installed. Well, that's useless. That should have been able to show me without having to do anything. Ready for play Linux, 40 games. I have 604 new games, apparently, that I haven't even touched, obviously. F1 2020, I haven't even I've installed it, but not one at once. I haven't even turned it on yet. So there's a lot of games to check out with this. Outer Wilds, I haven't played that one yet. I bought it, but I haven't played it. Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition. We have deployed a hotfix for Metro Exodus PC Enhanced Edition. Well, I'm glad I got that. To anyone watching in the future, I might be doing a game giveaway myself. I have a key for an awesome game that I might be handing away. Unless a certain family member actually wants to play a AAA game, maybe I'll give it to you. If you're into the Metro series games, let me know. Destiny 2. That game would not run on Linux no matter what I tried. This is one game you cannot run on Linux. That's why I'm back on Windows. At least that game will run on it. Divinity Original Sin 2 might be a worthwhile playthrough with you guys if no one's actually played it. Only thing I'm a bit iffy about is running games like that because there's a lot of Conversation, and I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to stream voices from the games. I don't see why you can't, to be honest. I think you just can't play the music. Ghost Recon Wildlands was good in its day. Have you clocked Exodus? Metro Exodus. It's a different game. Not 2033. This is Metro Exodus. A different one. It's a really good game. Like I said, I was playing WoW today, and then some bastard ganked me, and it just started really pissing me off for the day. So I just turned it off. I wasn't in the mood, and it's just so boring that I actually started reinstalling the retail edition of WoW myself. I thought I'd enjoy myself, but it's not that fun. Like, I've got mains on WoW that I can jump on and play, and I don't have to worry about bloody PvP all the time. If I want a PvP, I'll queue for it. I like doing that. But not when I'm trying to get through the quests and finish the character. Yeah, there's Grim Dawn. That's another game I'll do a playthrough with these on to show you different specs and shit. It's a bit like even got Haven Colony, which is another cool game where you build a lot of stuff. It's a survival city building game, I think. You got to account for oxygen and all sorts of things on that one. I'm still trying to learn that one myself. So if I stream it and I act like a noob, well, you'll know that I'm still trying to learn it. This game, City Skylines, I have 784.8 hours on. So, I mean, if I played that any longer, I think I'd be up near my dad's playthrough of Fallout 4. I think my dad has like 1,400 plus hours on it. I think he had nearly 2,000 hours on Fallout 4. Anyway, I'll be right back. Just gonna go and check something. Oh yeah, you haven't? Have you seen the new animation appearing under my face cam? That's a video render I did. I did that about midnight. Rendered that using Blender, and not the coffee blender either. Blender is a 3D application. Does video stuff, everything. Took a while to get that made. One I was doing last night. I woke up and it still hadn't rendered it, so I had to go and do a new one instead. I haven't changed any scenes yet, but I have been working on creative design on logos and lighting. That has a light that spins around and flicks onto the corners, and it uses all sorts of techniques. And the word is written using metallic textures, so it reflects perfectly. I've just got it dulled down a bit because it's translucent. I've got to figure out how to make a transparent background for that video, and only then would the name should be the only thing displayed then. I've been doing a lot of work learning how to do my overlays and do something stand out. It takes a hell of a lot of work to do that. Anyway, I'll show you the other thing that Harry had a look and liked it as well. So this is the new starting scene. Now it's supposed to have the video that's supposed to play on here. I think I've turned it off or something. I don't know. But I put the Kurdistan thing in the center and it's supposed to be still here. I don't know why it's not there. Username text is off. See, that's gone. And we've replaced it. Hang on a minute, I'll just chuck it on here. Source number 14. Okay, it's not showing the word. Why is that? Okay, just give me a sec. Why isn't it showing? Okay, because it's the main circular background that's going around behind us, the wrong one. Shit. Text element, stream is starting, and here's the stream ending. Coffee break. I added the border around the background that moves. And the coup de sun thing's been applied there. That's what I was trying to show you. That was also thrown on the starting one, but I haven't. I might have deleted it to change something on it. But yeah, that's the new one. So that's the animated Blender render of a word to represent a logo. And it's just a small effect on there that watermarks my channel. Apparently, I've got 6 viewers on Twitch. People enjoy my content today. That's really nice, guys. And that's my other display that you already know of. And the only reason it's not showing the game capture is because it's not set to. It thinks I'm playing WoW Classic. See, I've got it set to manually pick stuff. So now when I pick, if I want to play and talk to you like this, I can sit back and have half and half. You've got the game on one side and me on the other. And you get a more personal chat with me while I'm playing the game. So if I'm running around the world, just playing this and I can explain something to you, or I'm just sitting there AFK from the game, I can just show that. I could put this right with the drone flies in. Yep. Every now and then a drone will fly in, land, pick up fuel barrels and batteries, and then take off again. One comes here every 2-3 minutes. So that's my view for that one. And I have not thrown on the. This is the perfect one to throw the Kurdistan one on. So I'm going to show you. I'll do it live and scale it down. Just chuck it on here. VLC video source. Number 17. Chuck the video on. Add the video. Not OBS Studio, you dunce. Here it is here. Blender textures. I've been learning constantly, man. It's full on. So you take this texture, you scale it right down, chuck it underneath yourself, chop the bottom, chop the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it bigger because of this screen. And then I'm going to go transform, chop the top and bottom off, and we've got just what we need. This is how I do it. And you can keep it that way too. 380, bottom 380. Drag it down. Problem solved. Transparent as anything. And then we can add an effect to that track. Where do we want to stick it? About there, I'd reckon. Then go filters, add a filter. So that's how bright it really is. That's the proper render. Then I add the filter key, not color key, cancel, add, color correction, add, transparency, to put 5% transparency on there so that the stars and stuff pass right through it. And it's 85% transparent, job done. All right. But normally I don't like chopping off the lighting to that much. So I'm going to go and go to the transform, edit transform, and we'll change it to 370 on both. That way there's a 10 pixel gap on the two of them. Job done. And then it won't look like that. Now it'll look like it's smooth transitioning. So that's what I like to do. Every time you see this channel, you'll see that I've worked on the overlays, done some improvement. This is a completely custom overlay using some Pixabay videos in the background and also textures that I've been adding to change it and design what I want out of it. And then we go back to the main scene, which is mine. They're all mine, but you know what I mean. I learned things off YouTube that helped me build my own overlays. It takes hours of time to learn these things. But you only got to build them once and then back them up somewhere, and you've got your own overlay that you own, and I've put together, and then I've added background images using transparency to phase the background image with the color changing effect that I've done. Ha! Funny. You want a close up on the drone. That's how fast the drone fills up. That's how fast I'm able to supply that drone with fresh supplies. There is two drones that come here and they share the pad together. Now, these drones don't rapidly come back because the place, the other end, is well overstocked. It's so overstocked that the drones sit there for about half an hour, flying around circles because it's not utilizing how much this stuff, how much is getting delivered from this place. Whilst I still have plenty of power generation going on here. So, no, the advancements to the base will be that there'll probably be two or three platforms that'll be delivering fuel. This is just the initial expansion of this base. It's also self powered, providing all the power for itself, as well as running fuel out to everyone else. Drones use batteries. Even my trucks use batteries. That's how much batteries I've got. I've got so many batteries that I can load up a truck and drive around the map probably 5 or 10 times before it runs out of fuel or battery power. Now, like I said, I'll be right back, guys. I've got to go and check on my bro. Just give me a sec. And this is appropriate. I often feel like making another coffee, but I could go and check on. And just like before, you've got to change the window for game capture to the game you're actually playing. Normally it auto detects, but I manually choose them. Just like a manual gearbox. Just keep an eye on that drone coming back and forth. If it don't land in a couple of minutes, let me know. Yay, guys, doesn't want a coffee. Isn't that amazing? I've got a day off. I mean, morning off. I don't have to actually go and make a coffee every 30 seconds. I hope you're still there, man. In the future, I look forward to not just doing gaming footage, but um, showcasing things like changes to Manjaro, Linux, so that I can teach people how to use it for their aging systems, or maybe they want to toss it in and try out using it for everyday use, where I can help people with setting it up to use it like a regular system. In case they're interested in trying out, I don't know, install some games on it, playing them like a regular system you'd expect, because that's what they've done. There's a lot of games you can play on Linux now just fine, and in future I plan to showcase that. So while I'm setting all these overlays up, I'm pre-filming a lot of the stuff. Uh, the video card I've got's good already, for now anyway. I can't wait to get an RTX card, but any 1070 card and up should be able to run Linux for anything, because the older drivers have had time to get developed for Linux. So you have a pretty easy time getting those to work on here. So we'll be covering things like that in the future, where you get introduced to gaming over on Linux and seeing what can work and what can't. Of course, you need a good video card, but then again, there's some systems that some people won't be interested in at all. They might just want to use it for going on eBay and doing shopping and stuff. And hell, I might be talking about it now. It could be my stream tomorrow. You don't know. I'm very random when I stream. I could be playing games one day, and next day showing you things that have changed on Linux. Like, I'm going to actually do that right now. See? Random. I'm going to have a look at an article. Manjaro.org. I am on Windows right now, but I always check out changes, updates, new stuff, what has been happening over there, and that's what I want to look at. So, what have I done new? News. Here we go. News. So this is straight from the homepage, from the Manjaro.org news site. They have released on the 8th of June. We are happy to publish our latest stable release of 21.06 called Ornara. Some noticeable changes have been introduced since the Nibia release in January. For once, we dropped GNOME initial S. GNOME edition got. Hang on, no, that's not where we're at. We dropped GNOME initial setup routine from our ISOs. It was nice to try out, but the feedback overall was not so great. Since we also have optional OEM ISOs for our manufacturers, we see no need to further investigate into GIS. GNOME edition got exciting new features. GNOME 3.38 now combines frequent and all apps into the single customizable and consistent view that allows you to reorder apps and organize them into custom folders. Simply click and drag to move them around. Settings can now manage parental controls for standard users' accounts through the new parental controls option in the users section. GNOME Shell can now drive multiple monitors with different refresh rates, making sure that you get the best possible experience out of your desktop. Under the covers, the screen recording infrastructure is GNOME Shell has been improved to take advantage of Pipewire and kernel APIs to reduce resource consumption and improve responsiveness. This is excellent. A lot of the stuff this is not my reading now, this is me saying, a lot of the stuff I've been reading about in the past has been them trying to improve responsiveness of the system And I'm hoping that transfers over to gaming as well, because a lot of the API stuff in Proton and all that stuff has been trying to drive more stable performance while you're running games or doing everything on Linux as well. Okay, our KDE edition is all about upgrading the looks and usability of Plasma. Find, reach, and run your apps faster and easier than ever with Plasma's new app launcher. The new app launcher features two panels to make it simple to locate your programs and comes with improved keyboard, mouse, and touch input. Now let's close this game. Even though it was fun and amazing, I just gave you a tour of my base. And let's see if I can throw the screen up. Okay, since I'm on a live scene, I'm just going to add. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, just add a scene. And we're going to drag it down and then just silence it when I'm not using it. Display capture. Window capture. That's all I want to show. It's just the window. Okay, that's good enough. So I'm going to drag this down. So, well, that's cool. That was a good guess. Maybe I should just do it like that. No, it goes down where the game capture is. It sits in the same spot. We hide the game capture for now. So this is what I'm reading. Just the latest information on Manjaro. It's quite a good read. And I can hear myself on chat, so I've got to mute myself. Muted. Alright, back to Twitch. Back to my million pictures of myself. Okay. XFCE edition, we've now XFCE 4.16, the window manager, received lots of updates and improvements again in the area of composition and GLX. Fractional scaling was added to display dialog, along with highlighting the preferred mode of the display with asterisk and adding aspect ratios next to the resolutions. The settings manager has improved search and filter capabilities. Banner File Manager received a boatload of fixes and quite a few notable features, including pause for copy move operations. That's nice. Support for queued file transfers. And we've got kernel 5.10 LTS is used for this release, such as the latest drivers available to date. With 5.4 LTS kernel minimal ISOs, we offer additional support for older hardware, so you can choose either. Our installer Calamares also received many improvements. Among other things, Calamares has now a table of best guess languages for each country, and when GEOIP is enabled, it will automatically select a country's language as default. Well, that's a friggin' time saver. The user can, of course, pick a different one. The best guess is based on Unicode ISO data, which is sometimes dubious. Calamares also ships now a table of best guess keyboard mappings allowing native input support, language input. However, usernames and passwords should be in US ASCII. This is a limitation of the login system. Some parts of the system will support non-ASCII input, but it's better safe than sorry. That's great. I can't wait to test this one out. And that's why I've been working so hard on the overlays, because I plan to have it all recorded as a video that can just loop in the background. And that will greatly optimize my stream overlays where I just have one video looping with the alert system on top. So that way I can transparently run everything and lower all system resources. People always go back to Windows, including me. But you know what? You go back because you don't have someone like me showing you features and how to use them. Ain't I right? Am I right? With my show, I can actually show you now. I couldn't show you before, I could just tell you, but you wouldn't listen. Now you can be shown, and it makes it more fun. And another way is I can download an ISO and run it on a virtual box thing on the system here. So I can actually install it. I love GNOME. I love working with the GNOME one because it's easier to make it like Windows with the UI settings it gives you. Take me to the download, please. It's been a while since I've ran this. There was a really good tool I used to use on Windows which allowed me to virtually run it. So I can just teach people how to use it without actually fully installing it. Oh, I see. So it's secured. Good. Alright, so I'm going to switch this thing off now and put it back onto the other mode because you don't need to see every single thing. Just mute that for now. And, well, I'll be awesome if I can teach people how to enjoy them. So you can have, I can do a tutorial type video where I'd have my face over here and then I'd blow it up between scenes like this and go back and forth, show you how to use things. Yeah, that entire transparency effect going in the background on that side. I needed to add this background to this channel as well because it's part of the entire overlay system and I need to put it in. Thanks for making me remember things. It helps when you're trying to develop a theme. Blend overlays. This is an overlay that I produced that has a transparent background, or I believe it does anyway. And then you move it down to the bottom. Alright. And then you just transparent the whole friggin' thing. Effect. Apply color correction. Done. Opacity. And we can do the hue shift. What is most important though is if I can show people things and they get to enjoy it, what I show them, you know. If I can deliver the content is what I really meant. Unlock. Can I move this frame without breaking? Yeah, I need to break something. Control Z. Go figure. Okay, where's the image? Unlock so I can see where the image is. No, that's not the image. Browser, full screen, web camera, video, video. Actually, I need to unlock it. And I'm betting. Yep, it is. So you need to group all the assets together as the camera one. Create a group. Call it webcam. Chuck the whole lot into the webcam folder. That way we don't break half of the stuff. Right. I hope I've been able to help you a bit, Dad, with motivating you. Maybe one day you'll have a little stream running yourself. You don't have to have a camera on. You can just play games and run a game. The little logo picture on the left side, if you wanted to. I mean, there's quite a lot of successful streamers on Twitch that do that without ever putting the camera on. Something to think about in the future. I'm talking about without a camera. Some people don't even use voice. They just have music in the background. So to move the camera, I've got to go over there. I don't like moving it too far because I want to have, and as you can see, everything's tied to it, which is why I do Control Z, because I don't want to break it. I think it looks the best the way it is. Can't touch it. Can't touch this. You gotta leave it alone. It's safer. But I mean, I can run. I'll just show you as an example of this. VirtualBox Windows 10, basically. How to run Linux in Windows 10 with VirtualBox. Just having a quick look. I've got to remind myself. Yeah, I knew it'd be Oracle. That's the one that does it. Download VirtualBox. Install VirtualBox. Well, it would help if I actually clicked the download button, but anyway. There we go. Got it. And all I do is throw the ISO on it so I can show you it running. And then the changes without even having to install it. This is what I do before I even run an installation. And I'm not running an installation today. I've had it fully installed on my machine, older versions, and lived with it for 6 months. And that was all because I had the shits and just did it anyway. That's all good, eh? Bear with me, I'm still doing the install thing so I can run the virtual disk. Would you like to install this device software? Yes, install it, please. This is just so I can boot the CD or the trial thing where you load it up and have a look at it without actually installing it. Start. So I can do like tutorial things like this. I can go change scene, window capture, and I can then show you how I do it. For example, properties, VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox Manager, done. So now I can show that screen by turning it straight on, and you can see that I've got a VirtualBox application running. Showing there's a new version been released. I don't care about it, I don't need it to install it, I'm just showing you guys. Yeah, it's a long show, but I had it on at 5 and then turned it off where I was playing WoW for quite a while. And then got the shits and turned it off. So most of my stream has just been happening right now where I'm doing random stuff. So if I want to try out Linux or try a version out, this is what I do. I go machine, add. Actually, no, I don't do a machine add. I do preferences first, and I check things out, making sure everything's right. Maximum guest size, 100% scale. Make sure everything looks alright. Then I go new. I type Manjaro. It figures it out automatically. That's a Linux system. It thinks it's Mandriva when it's not. It's just Manjaro. Arch Linux. I'll just call it Arch. It figures it out from then on. VMs, yes. Next. Give myself 10 gig of RAM for this test. That recommended hard disk size is 8 gig. Yeah, great. Virtual hard disk. Dynamically located, yes. I think I only need about 8 gig anyway. Create. Just call it 10. We'll send it to a different drive because we don't want this drive holding the files because it's full. Just chuck it on this drive. Save it on there. Alright, 13 point something gig, that'll do. I don't give a shit. It's only there to have a look at it. I don't like this display setting though. Thinks it's got 16 megabytes of graphics memory. This computer's got 11 gig. But anyway, let's just see if we can boot the image. Start, normal start. It's going to ask for a startup disk, which is the the downloaded file, which I pick. There it is, done. Then I press start. Failed to open session for virtual machine. Details. Console wrap. Then I ask myself, why did it fail that? Has it finished downloading? Maybe I'm faster than my downloads are. Let's see. Did I actually finish the download? Yes, it did. There's a setting I haven't done. One moment. Settings. Advanced. You can do drag and drop sharing and everything on it. Let's just say any Linux. Other Linux 64. Audio network, USB, user interface, system. Base memory's got 10 gig. Okay, well, I've only assigned one CPU to it. Let's give it 8 cores. 6 cores. We've already got the fastest we can afford at the moment. I think we might have to invest in a different country. Okay, what to go? What is the go here? You have an active capture card? Maybe it doesn't work while I'm streaming. Hang on. Display. General. Let me read that again. Auto capture keyboard. That's got nothing to do with it. That's why I just boot the flash drive. It's so much quicker. You try all these different tools, and half the time they either work or they don't want to work. Okay, let's try something else. It's been a while since I've messed around with this tool. Bugger it then, just delete it. All friggin' day. Remove. Yes, delete all the files. Stuff it. Saves me wasting my time. Well, I don't do tutorials because nothing works when you're trying to do them. Well, hey, wish me luck. Maybe I'll win one. Maybe I'll win my own house. Maybe I'll have my $2 million mansion one day. Yeah, okay, stuff it. That's why I don't do tutorials. I'm not doing a tutorial anyway. I was just seeing if I could run it. I've got to boot the whole system standalone and then have a look at it that way. And then put the streaming app on, and then run it through the disk, and then open OBS and stream it. That's why I said once I have the OBS tool running the way it is now, I want to be able to loop it. Everything except the camera one. And that would just lower all overhead of the whole production program. And the only thing it's doing then is just running video loops. So let's have a look at this, make sure it doesn't crash the system again. Hopefully it won't this time. Let's see. Stream, game capture, turn it on. Turn the window capture off because tutorial guys are not used to me right now. And we look at Grim Dawn. Done and done. Oh wow, this version has all my characters on it. The ones I actually worked my ass off on. It kept all my bloody saves. Options, audio, make sure there is no music playing, good. Cover my ass early on. graphics settings before I go any further. Insane, insane, excellent, triple buffering. I think that was deliberately done and turned off so this thing would run smoother. Yep, looks like it. No, I don't want to quit the game. But I do no damage because I'm level 51. Options, video, let's see what's going on here. Gotta go and change all the bloody titles on the stream. But if I was going to stay up, I'd play something like this for a different game. Or I could share gameplay of me building cities and stuff, and that's a lot of gameplay there. I spent hours on those games. I said, when you put the time in, the characters get really bloody powerful. But they're never god powerful, like you've always got something better than you in this one too. Now I've got a lot of different types of setups that I'll run. I'll either play it as a hunter type character like this one. Looks like I've got a quest over there, but I'm not going to do it because I've already done it all. How's that going through the stream? Looking alright? Is that looking alright for you? Look alright? Or I look like shit? Good or shit? Don't tempt me, or I'll put a friggin' Fallout game on and make you watch me play Fallout. I'll torture you with it. Torture you with it, I mean. Yes, they're actually level appropriate. As you can see, they're actually harder to kill than ones. They're 53s. Nice day for fishing, ain't it? Oh, I love that bloke. He's bloody awesome. Another one of your awesome games that you own, Dad, is one of these games. A single player game which doesn't have latency problems. Kill the boss and everything with this thing. Done it all. Means it's junk and not worth looting. Ooh. Ooh. Mmm. Tasty. All that good loots. Yeah, you don't have to save this game. It does remember everything you do. So if you close the game or decide you want to do this is how you transport in this game. You want to go back to Conclave, you do that. You can always get back to it. 577 cunning. Anyway, that was just a short preview of the game that I own in my library. One of these days I'll do a complete playthrough series, so you get to have a look at it. That's a reasonably well geared character for its level. Just figured I'd share that one with you. There are some good games out there. Is he talking about classic or retail? It sounds like a classic question. You've already know the answer to that one. If it's classic. Yeah, well, you've got all the add-ons that I use. Questy. That's the only way you can see them. Use Questy and all those add-ons that I got you to use. That's how you help him. You tell him which ones I use by looking at the ones I got you to install. Um, Same as when I do future download. Finish the freaking download. I don't know, man. They built WoW and they nerfed a hell of a lot of shit with it. Where, I mean, the old classic WoW doesn't show anything without add ons. Almost feels like you can't find anything on the map because it's all hidden. You see it on a log, but you don't see it on the map. Yeah, he's going to have to grab add ons, follow those, or I don't know, send a ticket because I wouldn't be able to help straight away. I just went straight to add ons and downloaded add ons. That's all I could do. I knew what to do initially in the game, but if he's trying to work out how to use it, just get the add ons. Much easier. You need Questy, but there's Sublime. There's a bunch of Quest add ons that are required to assist with that. But Questy is the best one to go with at the start. Just show him whatever you've got in your list and run with that. Okay, Dad, this is the one I'm sure you do not have. So if you want to have a look, this is what I'm going to show you. Okay, I know you don't have it. So this is what I have. I've got to show the game first. It helps if it actually shows me it. It's one of these games that likes to be dedicated to full screen. Come on. Game capture, properties, show, Metro Exodus. Done. And just to be safe, checking the soundtrack. Alright, so I know you don't have it. But this is a beaut game. God, what do I run into that crappy settings? Ultra settings, yeah, I don't mind it. Hate motion blur in any game. Sound. Music off. Just in case it's streaming the music through it. A lot of good story in this. That everything in this game is good. Yeah, you reckon you got this one, do you? And that's just your introduction to the game. So you reckon you got that one, have you? This is not Metro 2033. That's Exodus. But anyway, yeah, it's a big game, and I've got a fair way through it, but I've got to clock the whole thing again when I've actually had some sleep. This one hooks you in for hours too. Yeah, I got, I'd say about halfway through the game, quite enjoyed it. You sure you wouldn't get hooked into this one? I tell you what, this system does well, considering it's streaming it at the same time. It's a pretty high end game for when it came out. It's designed for the freaking 20 series cards. This is back when the 2080s came out, the TIs and all that. Usually I get the frame rate cap on it, no trouble. So high is more appropriate for the TIs. So it's another cool game. Need to figure out how to change the titles on other platforms. Oh, yes, you can. Can I just edit the friggin' thing, please? He's persistent, isn't he?